from the very beginning, from the history, the beginning in Islamic history, the Islamic community was a diverse one. Some of the very first Muslims, they weren't all Arab.
Talib Logan, a 34-year-old Muslim man from Providence, Rhode Island, recalls an experience when he was judged because of his religion.
You know, I've been exposed to ignorance. And I say ignorant, I mean, you know, not knowing, but yet still being judgmental without knowing. When I walked into the restaurant, it was, you know, it was slow, it was quiet, and there was an older guy sitting at the counter of the restaurant across the room from the door. I began picking up a few words without even trying to. You know, my back was to him, but I still heard some of what he was saying. And right when I walked in the door, before I had even sat in the seat at the table, I noticed I had heard him say, "Doesn't that guy look like that guy, that terrorist on TV?" You know, but he made the connection primarily because I guess, you know, I was, you know, with my wife who wears a scarf, so he identified us as Muslims. And as a result of that, he went into his conversation directly, you know, talking about terrorism.
The Muslim community is under siege by media images and the political commentary of presidential candidates in the 2016 election.
If you say Islam, some of the first words that are going to come out, or some of the first thoughts that will come to mind is, you know, terrorism, ISIS, before ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, Taliban.
The election has stirred emotional and sometimes disturbing, insightful language towards or against the Muslim community by those who claim to be from the Christian side of the American culture.
It's like the Ku Klux Klan with, you know, Christianity. They call themselves the Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, but nothing they do corresponds to Christianity.
Some candidates who are vying for the presidency of the United States of America from the Republican Party have chosen to attack the Muslim community and question their loyalty to America and compare their Christian values to the values of the Muslim religion.
There are people who really think that ISIS represents the Muslim community, you know, or the Islamic community. But the fact is that they're far from what the teachings promote. They're far from what, you know, true Muslims believe in and practice.
Because of the actions of some people who are by far a very, very small minority of the 1.5 billion people who are Muslim, to 1.5 to 2 billion people who are Muslim. So their actions in no way can be determined to represent the Muslims as a whole. But yet so many people will identify the average the average person that they see who happens to be a Muslim, they'll identify them based on these behaviors of some people that are depicted in the media.
There is a lot more to the Muslim religion than what is shown on TV, and yet it is the extent of what some Americans know.
Islam teaches the equality within the human family.
I've learned enough about this religion to know that it is beautiful, and I will not allow the ugliness or the misunderstanding or the character of one individual to deter me. You know, don't always just be a person who takes what they quote unquote know based on what somebody told them. Do your own research. You know, go to a mosque. Ask a question. Ask a Muslim a question. In most cases, I'm sure he or she will be enthused to answer the question.